Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
Sometimes we do some guest co-hosts, and rocking with me right now, I have Ándale pues. Órale. Viva La Vargas. Johnny Vargas.
What's up? How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, we just don't want to wear it, bro, huh? Roger that. Standards and discipline.
Oh, man. If you guys don't know Johnny Vargas, he is the guy that you see posting on Viva La Vargas. Oh my God, man, you're like bright. I'm like brighter. I'm like, I need to adjust my shit. Damn. Like I fucking need to check my camera out. I'm like, your camera's bad.
I'm just trying to hide my pimples.
Yeah. So if you guys don't listen to, you don't see this guy all over Instagram and on TikTok, this guy here is one of the I will say his commentary it just weaves in and out. With hilarious commentary and, of course, his imitation of senior enlisted leaders throughout the services. I'm just going to say, bro, welcome to being the guest co-host of Sergeant's Time tonight.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Yep. Pip just said, hey, that's what a Latino is supposed to look like, Ice. Hey, fool, shut up. We were just talking about
fool.
that.
There's my complexion, fool.
Mira, cabrón, mira, tengo también. Yeah, we're just talking about that too. That finally the U.S. Army WTF, the WTF Nation Sergeant's Time has more Latino, not Latinx representation, and it was just
gotta get it out there.
You got to get it out there. So that's what I'm saying. The two whitest Mexicans in the planet, fucking
Equal opportunity radio, fool.
Anda pues, cabrón. Now, before everyone sits there and says, "Hey, how come you change your accent?" Did you know that most Latinos speak with more eloquent around other outsiders as opposed to themselves? And once you
so we don't get judged.
So we don't get judged, exactly. So oh fool, cabrón. So before we went on, you thought it was an episode, a Netflix series of Blood In, Blood Out. So with Miklo, with the two Miklos. But anyway, so he's joining us tonight to shoot the shit about AUSA. AUSA. And again, bro, well, thank you so much for doing this last minute. I know you and I talked, bullshit and stuff like that, but this is like, I like this. This is
comfortable. Feels like home.
Yeah, it feels like I said, me and you. And what's the irony is that you and I are from the same hood. I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't know why I'm doing the Big Pond voice.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
It's kind of addictive, honestly.
It is. Oh, God. You guys are from the West Coast. West Coast, East Coast. Hey, fool. What about me? Yeah, me and just getting to know Johnny, realizing that we're actually just not too far from each other, from our hometowns, and so
it's true.
That's pretty cool.
I was born in Woodland Hills. Shout out, fool. It's definitely not a Mexican city.
No, it's not. No, but it is. But we do like to permeate the area of said branch.
Yeah, we're all over near the 101 and 405.
405, 101. Yeah, exactly. The 66. Everyone's like, how come you guys don't talk about Route 66, bro? That's like not even a road anymore. It's like it's if anything else, it's like a frontage road along the highway and the 101.
Yeah, it's a T-shirt now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or a song from Depeche Mode. Yeah. So, anyways, we're here to dispel. We're here to get to the facts of what happened out at AUSA. And again, We did not attend. WTF Moments did not attend. However, I figured, let Viva La Vargas, give some notes and stuff.
Got an insider, fool.
Ay, fool. Anda pues. Of course, we'll obviously be having our arts and crafts. You know me, I don't like ever posting some stuff without some window capturing. And so let's go with day one. I think we covered that on the Monday edition, by the way. But there was some protests.
Yeah. There was some rapping on day one. There was the 10-miler.
Yeah.
Which was fun. I mean, I didn't do it. I just got my second back surgery about 2 months ago, so I kind of have to take it easy. But we got to hear from some really prominent people in the military community, in the Army community. Army Chief of Staff, the Vice Chief of Staff, Sergeant Major of the Army, Michael Weimer, who talks like this sometimes. He kind of sounds like Batman, but kind of with a mix of Cartman from South Park a little bit. But Army Chief of Staff actually, the key thing that I kept hearing all week was transformation and like rapid deployment and employment of things and modernization. So that was like their key focus, and I truly appreciated the insight that the Army Chief of Staff gave. So the 4 focuses that he talked about were counter uncrewed systems. That was the first thing he spoke about, and it's so cool. Like everywhere you went, you saw these little tiny drones, and then these big giant drones that are literally their payloads. Like they were picking up like 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. And it's so funny that one of the drones I saw, I tested in 2016 in Alaska, and it wasn't until now that we finally see it on the floor, like being used. So it's crazy to think like how many years of kind of advancement and research that goes into this stuff. But yeah, countering uncrewed systems, because obviously drones, huge thing right now. Scaling transformation, meaning that they want to kind of lean us out and make us more efficient, kind of like the Marine Corps, how they do more with less. And then obviously they want to focus on technology and speeding up contract acquisition. So the Army Chief of Staff felt like that the Army was taking too long to build new contracts, build new relationships.
Amen.
And
Amen.
he wants to kind of get ahead of the game, and instead of playing this back and forth telephone game, like, look, do you want to sell us this product, or do you want to develop this product for us? Yes or no? Okay, we're moving on.
Yeah, exactly. And did they say anything about, because there's some cheese mail out there.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, chisme is a Spanish Cholo slang for the tea, for the ruminant. Was there any chisme out there about talking about removing, and this was just talk, nothing solidified, of course. Was there any about going more to best value justifications as opposed to going to the bidding? Was there any discussion about that?
Yeah, so that's actually one of the other points that he made was streamlining production and like trimming the budget. And what was it? He said like making smarter and like better decisions on stuff like that, like acquisitions. And honestly, I feel like I know there's a huge difference from like what you say and what you do, but what they were saying was we want to be faster, better, stronger, quicker, and we want to be more frugal about things.
Right.
So yeah, they kind of touched on it, not too much. But he even spoke about like, okay, so the 155 rounds, they are able to generate 50,000 per month of those rounds. And by the end of next year, they want to bring that number up to 100,000 rounds per month of 155 munitions. So they're really trying to pump out some stuff. And he also spoke about just being more lethal,
Now to be more lethal, lethality. Did the lethality come back?
Not the lethality and the agility.
Agility. Oh, actually, lethality is not really a.
Yeah, actually.
Well, there was a lot of and that was just like, I mean, we're kind of jumping around from after day one, but
yeah,
but that introduction, did somebody have? Did you want to talk about the protest at all, or was
Yeah, I'll touch on it. I mean, they protested all week, and they were holding signs like they jumped on the stage when Sec Army was speaking or about to speak, and it said their sign said "Planet, not Pentagon." So just like talking about clean energy, talking about all that stuff. So there's different groups, but also like when we were walking to the event, and different luncheons and different things that were going on. There was just protesters everywhere. Nothing got crazy. It didn't get like violent or anything like that. But they clearly didn't enjoy our presence there. They didn't like seeing Lockheed Martin and Raytheon and Army and all that stuff. So
Right.
it was expected. It wasn't a surprise,
Right.
but it's just like a little obstacle that kind of got in the way.
Yeah, it
No
didn't
big deal.
Yeah, I was about to say it didn't really seem like on the big deal side. It didn't really seem like it was. I mean, it didn't have. We saw it. We kind of joked about it on Monday, ha ha ha, and then made memes about it, and then that was kind of like, that was it. That was the big thing. But they talk about, you were talking about the shell production. Did they talk about opening up new plants or something like that, or opening up new facilities for it, or is it going to be
They spoke a little bit on new facilities, but honestly, it was just pumping more out of what we already have. So like building some infrastructure, like expanding it, but really just pumping more money and people into those plants that are already. So I'm assuming, that's going to generate some jobs.
Of course.
And stuff like that. But so it's going to affect a lot of things, but they didn't specifically speak on, hey, we're going to put another plant, in Wisconsin or something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because there's a lot of congressional stuff that goes.
Yeah.
We got people in the chat saying that we don't have a munitions and drones problem. We have a discipline problem. Okay.
It's all discipline and standards. Why is your barracks room dirty? Why is there mold on the wall?
Tattoo mean bad soldier. So the and that's another thing too. I'm not gonna beat around the bush about it. This was gonna come up, but everyone panned on the fucking blue book, and and I get what the intent was, but then isn't that what we have sergeants for? I mean, just one of those. I know what the intent was. I mean, don't get me wrong, because every other installation has a blue book or we had like, when was that?
Yeah, standards.
The standard like that.
Like the Marne standard.
Oh yeah, or the Phantom standard card you always got to carry around with you. But I mean, I get.
I'll tell you this much: it was very underwhelming.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Honestly, like, I don't think it's a bad thing what they were trying to implement. They were just trying to re-solidify the standards and discipline. It basically, that's all it was. And Sergeant Major of the Army Weimer, SMA Weimer, was like, this is what we're going to live by. This is our Bible for the Army, and everything that's in here, as long as you're doing those things, you're good. But it wasn't like they didn't do any groundbreaking, to me, in my opinion, my humble opinion. There was no groundbreaking, like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we have the blue book now. The newly updated blue book, and people were upset online and in person there that, they didn't talk about a whole lot about the barracks, like improving the barracks. And I know there's a big plan for the barracks across all of the DoD, but they were upset with that. And then they're like, oh, okay, cool. We're getting the blue book and new PTs again.
Yeah.
more PTs.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll cover the PTs in a minute, because there was some consternation that was woo on that one, man. That was oh man. So real quick, this is the blue book, guys, and you can get you can get it online, and you can check it out yourself. As a matter of fact, let me change screens here, and then that way I can drop it to you guys in the chat so you can follow along with homework. And then
what a good NCO.
You guys can see it right there. And through all the chat, so it looks like it just hit. Yep, it just hit all the Facebook. It hit Facebook's. It hit Facebook. Yep. Okay, the 2 YouTube pages and the 2 Facebook pages. It hit.
It's now an inspectable item, audience. Okay, so
that's what I'm saying. Is it really
Monday morning?
Is it really an inspectable item?
I mean, if we make it one, then it will be.
Don't see. That's the thing. It's already bad enough that WTF moments is misinformation when we were just like talking about it. And I don't want to get off on that kick, because I'm pretty sure there were some underlying conversations that you probably had. And WTF Nation bad. And again, I'm just it'll be posted on the. As a matter of fact, let me post it on the.
Unpaid TDY voucher equals bad soldier.
Exactly.
Unsettled.
This is BS. Why you set the standard, Sarge? Yeah. So okay, we got Insomniac. Can we just get new brooms? For the motor pool. Yeah. See, little stuff like that. It's
honestly, we need to teach those soldiers how to sweep the motor pool, because when I was going in, and I know, you might as well just say pause in the comments right now. A proper broom, like practice is you get the broom like this, and then you just go like that, right? I warned you. You could say pause. You know, people. I feel like we need to make sweeping great again. You know, in the motor pool.
Oh man, we're trying to be political here in Sergeant's time, but yeah, make sweeping.
Yeah.
Masa? What is that? A Mexican thing? What is it? Why are these two Mexicans talking about tacos and tamales?
Yeah, this is what happens when they put the Latinos in charge for the night.
Oh God, Latinos are at it again.
Oh jeez, I knew we should have voted for the other people.
Yep, I just dropped it in the Twitter. So if you guys if you guys are listening in on the X app, you can just see right underneath, right below the, you can see the link there. So you can walk along with us, and we can go over the blue book, yourself as we're talking about it. So, anyways, how to abate their own mold. Okay, so publication supplement. Everybody knows standard Army stuff. This page is intentionally left blank. They always do that. Gives you a little functionality there and how to go through it and scroll through it. The forward. Yep. Okay, got it. The purpose of is why we serve. Blah blah blah. No, don't get me wrong. There are some things. Now again, I'm not totally panning this, but I am. I am gonna jab on this. Is it some of the stuff that we should already know within our sergeants, like our buck sergeants and our staff sergeants, should be the ones that are explaining this to the troops. And again, I'm talking to a freaking there's two guys that are I guess you would say we're influencers talking about social media. But it shouldn't take TikTok to fucking understand that stuff, or someone going, stitch coming, stitch coming.
Right. Yeah.
So we shouldn't be saying, we should be doing that. We shouldn't be using TikTok as the main, I guess you would say the linchpin.
A source of information, maybe,
just a linchpin of information that you get from a lot. Because as you go through this, and you're going to keep, it gives the Constitution, which of course troops don't know about that. You got those kids that go on social media and say that that like to talk about First Amendment, Second Amendment, and stuff like that. When if you read more of it, there's actually more to it. Our Army, of course, that's important. I mean, these are some board questions. Is there, Rob says, is there a version in Espanol for the Latinx peeps?
Yeah, we got a Braille version coming out next.
Exactly. We also have a Big Sarge version that's got like.
Well, we should make it like how the young kids talk now version. Like, no cap, you will be at formation. Like,
exactly. Whatever bussin' means.
Yeah. If your training isn't bussin'.
Yeah, going through what the descriptions of what the emblems are, there we go. Army flag, Army song. Here's where I wanted to hit. Where is it at?
The streamers.
The streamers. There we go.
Yeah.
Second from the bottom, War with Spain, 1989.
Good year.
That's why I enlisted in the Army. That's why I enlisted in 1989. And look, the standards, we want to be locked tight and QC your media. Just that's right there immediately what kind of pans out. The Army song, a lot of people do not know that the Army song was a caisson song in the beginning. And also there were some requirements back in the day where you didn't have to stand up when it played. It just played. And now it's part of customs and courtesy. So again, and to discuss what the Army emblem is, again, pretty freaking. There's now again, these are some things that are just not given to the troops out there already. Like they don't.
Right.
They don't know. They're like, why is that goofy ball cap up there on top of that spear?
Yeah.
And that right there is. Again, I can't bust on this completely. You know what I mean? I know. Yeah. I get what the intent was. I'm gonna go back. There's the oath of enlistments, the oath of office. For civil servants, people don't know that some of your GSs have them too.
Yeah.
Soldier's Creed. Didn't want to go ahead and go through this
Classic.
Creed of non-commissioned officer.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, okay, here we go. No one's more professional than I. Hey,
Bad memories from the board.
Exactly. Hey, Weimer, how come nobody listens to the other two paragraphs? Anyways.
Yeah.
So exactly that, Pip. These will be on promotion board stuff. Study your blue book. I think if you study your blue book, this right here gets it. This
Kind of encompasses a lot of all the basic essential things, you know?
right. And again, this is something you should be getting from TikTok. This is something you should be grabbing from SARNs. Your NCOs should be the ones throwing this shit out. I shouldn't say this shit, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and honestly, social media was a big topic there. I'm not gonna lie.
Go ahead. What was the take on the social media side?
So currently we have DoD instruction. I think it's like 1400 dot something, right? And most of it only pertains to DoD official sites and social media. But there's one chapter, and I won't even say chapter because it's chapter 8, but it's seriously like 2 paragraphs.
It's a blurb
of the personal use and stuff like that. So they're actually rewriting that, and they're going to publish it. All they said was very soon. And to me, I think they're just going to basically crack down on what you can and cannot say on social media and how you do it. And that, which I understand that. But also one of the things that Chief of Staff said was to tell your Army story, and specifically for recruitment and retention. One of the only ways to do that effectively is through social media, because that's where you have to go where the people are, and the people are all over Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. But they're also, on one hand, they're saying, hey, get on social media and tell people how amazing the Army is and how your life changed. But then also social media equals bad soldier, like type of thing, you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because when you have exactly, go out there, tell your story, and then somebody comes out there and says, yep, I came from this, I did that, and I did from this, and I did from that, and then so-and-so, and I ran into a bad NCO, and as soon as you say that, immediately the Army goes, well, or you have leaders that will say, you're disrespecting the Army just by telling your story and your experience. I mean, you and I both have had bad experiences with bad leaders. I mean, but we've also had great experiences with great leaders. I don't know. Do you think that the genie's out of the bottle now? Like, it's kind of too late to put it back in?
I don't think it's too late. And, you know, honestly, like, it's funny that you mentioned that, what you said before about leaders. Like, I did a video recently of that. I feel that everyone should have a bad leader at some point. Not that I would wish bad leadership upon you, but seeing a good leader compared to a bad leader, or, you know, objectively a bad leader, maybe they're a good leader somewhere else, and just that organization, they just didn't fit. Excuse me. You know, it really puts things in perspective. Like, okay, cool. I can now, when I become a leader, or when I become more of a senior leader, I can see that the things that he or she did, and maybe change them up a little bit. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's too late, though. I think we can turn this ship around. But how do you turn a ship? Really slowly.
Well, yeah. You know, do you do it like Chowder, like you know, Chowder Hill, how he can turn his aircraft carrier on a dime and do that big massive drift? Because that's what I think it needs. You can't, like I said, and here's yes and no. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm also agreeing with you too.
Yeah.
That I think if we just kind of like let off, like there's some soldiers that were having a good time doing some shit. Look, WTF moments, other meme pages and stuff like that, post what soldiers, you know, play grab ass. Everyone's played grab ass. If you've been to any field exercise, I guarantee it right now. Most of the individuals that were senior leaders, I know that when they were captains, or I knew when they were sergeant first classes, or I knew when they were a colonel, and I seen them play grab ass too in the field.
Yeah.
And playing grab ass in the field, like what? We posted a picture of somebody getting taped to a tube, which is, I guess, it's a new platoon leader tradition. It's almost like
with our PLs, we did so we would tape them to a litter.
Yes.
And then we would take off their shirt, and then if they're a male, and then we would slap their stomach.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying too. It's like that's the jumping in process. It's like the blood and pues vatos locos, cabrón, mira.
Yeah.
But
Vatos locos for life.
PL for life. So they would, because we're seeing that come back, and we were always kind of like, okay, is this gonna? Because we, believe it or not, everyone's like, oh, you guys just post everything. It's bullshit. It's misinformation. But we actually kind of sit back and go, is this person because, you know, back in the day, we just post and then we don't answer the inbox. And now someone's like, hey, man, they send us something. And we're like, okay, is this going to get you fragged, man? Is this going to get you busted?
Right.
And because if not, okay, we got no issue posting it up and all that. And then is there plausible deniability here? We're kind of like getting more, instead of like, it's kind of funny watching the newer military pages and newer military.
It's legalistic.
Yeah, it's almost like it's also a circle too. It's like we used to post just like them too.
Yeah.
And then I'd go, that's gonna get you fried, LT, or hey, Captain so and so. One time, and I'll say this, and Colonel, don't get mad. We had a colonel send in some shit.
Nice.
And he was like, hey, just give my guys give my PO a hard time. That's what I'm talking about. Time to bring this back. Bam. And all right, it's posted. And next thing you know, oh yeah. And then you see the reaction to it, and then you get those couple of bad soldier posts. And again, it's like Spanky said in the chats, it's one of those things to where they want us to tell our story, but then they don't want us to tell the story. It's like, okay, do you want to tell the story?
Exactly. Which one is it?
Yeah. Yeah. And then like, well, look at movies that we've seen. Black Hawk Down for specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, the book Black Hawk Down from Mark Bowden writes that shit out. Task Force Ranger, Operation Gothic Serpent. All the grab ass that they played in there. Everyone thought it was fucking funny, right? Oh, and then, of course, Captain Steele at the time, pretty funny hua. Recognize myself, And the next thing you know, do we have leaders like that? Do I think now it's okay for soldiers to play grab ass and show the American public that, hey, these are our soldiers and these are our leaders that are human too?
Yeah. From what I got at this AUSA was that we're trying to lean more into a professional organization rather than that kind of mentality, right? And like it's hard because there's a line, and you're going to fall on either side of the line. You can try to skirt the middle of the line for as long as you can, but
right.
There's only so much you can do, and it's like we said earlier, like which one is it? Is it this or is it that? It can't be both. They both cannot be true.
Right.
So what do you want?
Yeah, and there it is, and that's what it is right there. You can't expect senior Army leaders to say, "Hey, we want you to tell your story. Be out there on social media," but then all of a sudden you have their subordinates. That's the thing. It's Big Sarge. Yeah. It's Big Sarge that says, "Bad soldier," and the next thing you know, they're freaking trying to they're trying to slam these kids for posting on social. Now look, the TikTok stuff, I'm kind of like, like for me, I'm the old, I don't want to say I fall into that old salt bullshit.
You're
category.
Seasoned. You don't have to say old. You're seasoned.
But I don't think posting in uniform is cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There's a difference between posting shit in the field when you're doing field stuff and all that, but then, gyrating your fucking hips in uniform.
Big no-go.
Yeah. It's kind of like,
Plus, I don't have the back for that anymore. I definitely get hurt.
Never
in the beginning, when I started on social media, I was posting in uniform. I was doing like funny stuff, like
right.
All the other bigger people were doing. And then I was like, okay, well, I don't know. Like I started taking off like my unit patches, and like so nobody knew what I was. And then now, like 99% of my videos is just like in regular clothes. And some people don't even know I'm in the military, and they're like, oh, but this guy's talking whatever on the military, like he probably hasn't served a day in his life. And I'm like,
oh yeah, we get that all the time too. Yeah,
at least one day actually.
Yeah, several actually.
Yeah,
dos dias.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is that right there. It's if we're gonna encourage our soldiers to get out there and be on social media, then we need to have that discussion to where then you better be prepared for the funny, the raw, the emotional, and you're like, oh. Damn. Yeah. Wow. I didn't really expect that story to come out. Because then, like you said, well, that you can't have both. Make up your mind what you want. Do you want soldiers to be out there and tell their stories, or do you want whatever? And I'll be honest with you, the kids out there are really wicked smart on this.
Yeah, no, they are, and it's cool because the vice chief of staff came up to me, and he was like, "Hey, I've seen your videos on like the news stories you've shared, about all these different installations and stuff that happens." And I was like, oh, crap. Like, here it is. My life is over now. Like, my career is done.
Exactly.
And him and General Brunson both said, they were like, you need to keep doing that because people need to know this information. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, my God. Thank God. I was like sweating bullets.
Exactly.
But, like, there's a right way. There's good practices and there's bad practices. So, you just need to really utilize like, okay, how do I have two really good lawyers and they, I've had to have had to use at least one of them a couple times, but you just gotta just be an adult, but also from the military, from the DoD side, tell us what you want. And I think that's why they're rewriting that DoD instruction.
That and okay, so to bring up the discussion about what it was in the blue book is that if you go to 3-2, paragraph 3-2 in the blue book, personal. My therapist goes to a therapist now. Nicholas says in the YouTube chat says Vargas for president. Thank you. There you go.
Thanks, Nicholas. I really appreciate that.
I want to be president too. Military discipline, of course, the foundation of our personal and professional conduct. But then that's when it discusses the national anthem, does retreat, reveille. Yeah, I mean, some good information here. But then it gets into the fraternization side of the house, and then it goes into the. And then, there we go. That was the biggest thing that when I saw it popped out, and I'm like, okay. So the fraternizing.
Yeah.
I think, how do I say this? I think, and this is in my personal opinion, of course, I think fraternization, well, there's a saying, don't fuck your troops. That's it.
True.
I mean, not to sound raw about it, but fuck everybody else's soldiers, but don't fuck your
What if it's to save their life? Just kidding.
Depends what.
Sorry.
What depends what we're talking about. The main page posted a pineapple. Everyone's like, "What was that all about?"
Yeah, hey, what's going on with this pineapple?
What's up with this pineapple? What does that mean?
That's funny.
And why did you leave the lake open?
I like pineapples.
Exactly. So, fraternization be constant of to create or clear perception. Back in the day, it was not a big deal unless they were in your chain of command. Unless it was, but now you see on social media, somebody is accused of something. Now this is of course, the fucking court of public opinion. Yeah. You see, hey, so and so and so and so were doing so and so and so and so, and I'm like, okay, are they single? Are they using that for profit, pleasure, personal gain, yada yada?
Yeah.
And are they both, did I already say the single part? They're unmarried, and they're not involved in each other's chain. I mean, that's really the waviness. And again, of course, that right there, I only think that the adultery side of the house should be only if it's like fucking your own troops, because that adultery thing is almost like way, way open. It's a way open. It's a barn door when it comes to that. Somebody's going through divorce. Somebody's going through separation. Someone's going through whatever, and it takes, I mean, even the Secretary of the Army said she was accused of being a side piece.
Yeah.
When she said that, I was like, okay.
All right.
Now, so
Noted.
So she said that, quote unquote, that was said. She did say that. Now I'm just going to say right now that everybody who says that the Army senior leaders need to be more where the soldiers are at, when she speaks like one of the troops, then you shouldn't get the ass.
Yeah. And early on in my military career, we were fraternizing all the time, like, because we wanted to become a good platoon or a good squad or a good team. Like, we weren't doing anything crazy or illegal, but like so many senior leaders and, people that make decisions in the Pentagon and in Capitol Hill and stuff like that, they're like, oh, you have to know your service member. Okay, cool. Like, yeah, I know, and I'm going to know the men and women that work with me and under me and above me and stuff like that. But you can't get mad if, we get a little personal, because if I'm going to agree to give my life to you, if it comes down to that, then you can't get mad that I'm having my platoon over for a beer, a couple beers on the weekend or something,
Right.
Yeah.
That, or I mean, again, I'll say it. I've seen some leaders that, host functions.
Yeah.
And they host a function that is like, okay, well, you freaking invited these kids over, you invite everybody to show up, and now people are getting mad at you.
And those functions in Alaska were swinger parties. They were.
Okay, well, okay.
In Alaska, it's just really cold. You know, it's not a whole lot to do up there.
You gotta
so.
snuggle. Time to snuggle.
Whose hand is that?
Yeah, exactly. Wait a minute, this isn't a hamburger bun.
Yeah.
Now, again, I'm quoting what she said. So everyone, before you fucking go off on me and say, "Hey, wait a minute, did you just say the Army Secretary?" Well, just that she said that.
Her words.
Her words. And so, and then again, that was a perception and accusation of her being with you know, her supervisor, and she was accused of that stuff. So again, hey, I'm just if you want senior leaders to talk with the troops, and they talk like the troops, don't get mad.
Yeah.
But however, Big Sarge, don't get mad when you're seeing soldiers acting like I said, grab ass. And the biggest ones that like to enforce that are playing grab asses themselves.
Yeah.
So, all right, the social media portion, I think that kind of covers it a little bit, or does not cover it, or
Yeah, I think it'll get more hashed out once that instruction comes out, and then once it comes out, I'm sending it straight to my lawyer because I assume they're just going to get real strict on people, and they're going to, because I honestly know content creators. I know 2 of them that got kicked out of the Army this month because of their social media, and I'm not trying to defend any certain decisions, but like that's why my wife is slightly upset that I mentioned the parties in Alaska. We didn't. Okay, for all, we did not go to those parties. Okay, I'm sorry, babe. We didn't go to those. Okay, but they were a thing, and it was usually like chiefs and officers. Okay, anyways, but what was I saying? I can't.
You were saying about being. You think they're going to crack down?
Yeah, honestly, I think they're really going to crack down, and I've known people that have gotten kicked out recently because of social media, and that's why I'm extremely careful on social media. I typically don't even use my own words. Like I'll use words of other types of media and stuff like that, just to kind of protect myself and my family. So
no, I hear you. I think the genie's out of the bottle. I think they should have just let it roll out, and as long as you weren't in uniform spouting fucking some whacked out racist or extremist
some
type
extremist
shit. Some extremist shit. But then hang on,
where's the line?
What is that individual leader's, or what is that leader or the command's interpretation of what not racist but an extremist?
Right. Yeah. Is it the commander's discretion, is it?
Because there might be somebody who's like a straight fucking left-leaning or right-leaning individual who's saying, I don't like the way Vargas talks, or I don't like the way, ICE talks. These guys both are extremists because I heard them speaking Spanish, and I heard them.
What's the matter with the way I talk?
I heard him say La Raza. I thought it was rice. So at that point, where is that line? Me. I've been accused of being an insider threat openly. Openly, guys got butthurt when another senior leader says, "What are you talking about? Oh, insider threat? What do you mean, dude? Not a insider.
It's a big word.
That's a big word. Senior leader too say it's an inside threat. W.T.F. Moments is run by an information operations guy, and he's a former PSYOP guy, IO guy. Insider threat. Look, if you don't like what somebody says on social media, that doesn't make them an insider threat.
True, So it's really true. Like, just if you're offended, that doesn't make you right. If you disagree, that doesn't make you right. Like, it's okay to have varying opinions and ways of doing things. It's crazy. It really disheartens me when senior leaders and other elected officials throw around those phrases like misinformation and insider threat. Like, I feel like you don't understand how damaging that could be.
Right. Not to mention, bullshit. Let me just go right back. You just gave the kids something now to arm themselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's true.
Well, shit, let's go back to the blue book again.
I wish I could see the comments. I feel like people are probably, who's this other Mexican guy?
Who's this Latinx guy? Just somebody says means your feelings are soft, nasty dudes blowing each other dudes and don't even know it. Okay, there we go.
I guess maybe I don't want to see the comments.
The comments.
y'all are getting book wild down there.
Didn't know Diddy liked Alaska. If it was only covered in blow up dolls, your very own little freak off. F the camera. What does this mean? No more Army and Navy chicks in uniform on Instagram, TikToking and monetizing themselves? See?
Yeah.
Does that fall into some ethics?
Yeah, it really does.
Because
And,
I have lawyers and JAGs that when we present a token of our appreciation to military leaders and they get a coin rack, I had to cover that with JAG. I had to go through Army and JAG, to make sure that it was not in violation of, it was not ethics. There was a specific I had to like literally walk it through the process to get it to come on. So here it is, the Constitution. Are you sure you want to give soldiers a blue book to arm themselves with this information that you're going to come after them for saying something on?
And I've used the Constitution in one of my defenses when I got investigated, and I won because of it.
Rob says, "Commander's discretion," quote unquote.
Yeah, that's a dangerous phrase because that's so subjective, you know. Because a man will think differently than a woman, or like a white man will think differently than a brown man sometimes, you know, like just all that is so subjective. It's scary.
Yeah. So Army authorities, the command authority. Okay, we just went over all that stuff. I don't want to beat the blue book as much as it's already getting beaten. It's really getting beaten bad.
It's almost as rough as the comment section right now.
What are you guys talking about? Of course, AR 600-1 and DAPAM 600-1s for baseline standards and body fat composition. Here's my thing about that. I've always been a believer of this, only because I'm a hefty individual myself. That if you can max the APFT or ACFT or get a high score on the ACFT, I don't think you should be taped, because everyone says it's really easy to pass the ACFT, but then again, it's really hard to max. So if you get a 540, I'm all about that. No taping. You want to be a big and hey, whatever carb diet you fucking can do it to knock it out. Then there you go.
Yeah, I mean, we got three different types of Rangers. You got fast Rangers, you got strong Rangers, and you got smart Rangers. You know, everyone has a different body type.
Right. Well, you forgot number 4, the Fat Rangers.
No, yeah, those two.
I've been to Fort Moore recently, and I'm damn.
Sergeant Major, the Army's watching those guys down there right now.
Exactly.
Got my eye on you.
They got my eye.
Hey, you're going to Pizza Hut again? Stay away from that Burger King, you.
I'm on profile, though. Don't you?
Bull crap. That was it.
You can't ask me that anymore.
So religious accommodation goes into that. Requests related to groom appearance, because we know beards is the big thing. Did they talk about beards in the USA?
No, not really. And people were upset. They were like, give us beards. And like, I feel like that people need, I understand the want for the beards and like, for example, like I did a little training rotation in Canada, and all the Aussies, all the Canadians, and all the French people, they had such cool facial hair. And I can only grow the pencil thin Mexican mustache, you know. But if I could grow a beard, that'd be really cool. I want to do that. But yeah, they didn't really touch on that. There was a couple forums where it was brought up, but it was just more of the political answers, like, oh, well, we're focusing on this, and this right now, you know. So
didn't really much into that discussion. It seemed like it was the Gomez Adams. Pip says that's what kind of mustache you get. You get the Gomez. You get the Gomez.
The Gomez.
The Gomez.
Yeah. It's true.
Headgear, of course, everyone's talking about the headgear. Now, it's a very controversial topic. Every time we post something on WTF Moments of someone not wearing their uniform top or their headgear, the freaking comments backing them up for why they're doing it it's unreal.
Right.
It's almost to where the point where, look, okay, you're not going to care anymore. To this point, it used to be look at this guy, whatever. Now it's like, hey, Sarnt, is that your troop? These are your soldiers. You guys are becoming a bunch of narcs. Well, look, you can't come in the inbox and tell us this issue or this situation needs to get resolved, and then we look around and we see you, out of uniform. So
honestly, like there's a right answer and a wrong answer. Just like what we were talking about earlier, like which one is it? Both things can't be true. So
right.
Are you gonna? And I understand. I've been in those situations where, like, I went outside for like 2 seconds right outside the door, so I didn't have my PC on or something. I may or may not have my hands in my pockets like all the time at work.
Hands in pockets, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care about
I
hands in
love the
pockets.
hands in pockets.
Yeah.
I love that so much. But yeah, honestly, like, somebody needs to make a decision of, are we going to do this or that? But I feel like for a long time we're going to be going back and forth of like, okay, we're going to do this, but some of that, and then some of this, and then some of that.
Right. Pip just says, just stay off the grass.
Yeah,
Corey
we have
says,
to stay off that grass.
Exactly. Corey says, get away from that cheeseburger troop. That's right. Okay.
Stay away from the French fries.
Exactly. Especially the curly ones. Okay,
Yeah.
so physical fitness uniforms. Now, that got everybody to do a What was the discussion about that? Did you see any designs or anything like that for the new physical fitness uniform?
No, honestly, and I've seen like some mock-ups, and I don't know if it was like official or anything, so I wasn't gonna share it or anything like that. But all Sergeant Major Weimer said was like, "Hey, 2025, we're rolling it out." And like when Sergeant Major Raymond put it out, Raymond Chandler, when he, yeah, when he introduced that, like it started in 2014, but the wear out date wasn't until I think 17 or 18 for the old PTs. So obviously, you're gonna have some time, and I know a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, great, another uniform we got to buy. Like, is it gonna be free?" Blah blah blah. This and that. So it was a really hot topic, and there was a lot of varying opinions on it.
Somebody sent this in and made a Amory Times joke.
Honestly, somebody made a comment on one of my videos, and it was actually a good point. They were like, "Please just make it a uniform that we don't have to tuck in." I was like, "Oh, I've never even really took that into consideration. Like, can't we just wear a shirt and not have to be forced to tuck it in and then retuck it in every single time we do a sit up or something?"
That's a good point. I don't recall. Yeah, I don't even think about. Yeah, I mean, even when I do civilian clothes PT and stuff like that, I don't.
You still a tucker?
No, I don't tuck. I don't tuck at all.
Yeah, I don't tuck
I
anything.
don't tuck anything at all. Yeah. There's some comments when we
sometimes I tuck.
There's hey fool, what you mean tucking? Tucking.
What are you talking about,
What,
fool?
what are you tucking? Hey, we tucking or tucking? What? Somebody's gonna be watching this and losing their mind. These two white guys are imitating Latinos.
My wife's probably losing her mind right now. I'm in DC for the audience. I'm in Washington DC right now. I'm stationed at Fort Cavazos.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
Texas,
yeah, that's
so.
right. Yeah, because you're wrapping up your AUSA time. Somebody said in the comments and what was posted on WTF Moments is that this would be awesome if half the force wasn't overweight. And I'm thinking, okay, like you were saying, what's overweight to whom? Whomst?
Right.
Who is?
If you can effectively do I know people chunkier than I that do the sprint drag carry like almost a full minute faster than I do.
Right.
Because like them farm boys,
Yep.
like there's those farm boys, you got them, and then you got the skinny people that are like really good runners, but they can't really do they can't throw balls over their head, because it's a little heavy. But yeah, everyone.
Sorry,
I was waiting for it.
Waiting for the ball. Someone say balls. Sorry.
What y'all say? Y'all talking about balls? But yeah, like everyone has, and I think it comes down to, can you perform your MOS, your required, the requirements of your job? Can you perform those? Cool. Do you look halfway decent in the AGSU or the ASU or your OCP or whatever? Awesome. Like, good to go. I don't know. It's a tough one. And honestly, they brought that up as well. I think it was Sergeant Major Weimer brought up where is it in my notes? He wanted to do a new fitness program for 2032. So kind of thinking more towards the future. And basically they want to update the holistic health and fitness model, the H2F.
Oh my God. God, here's the thing is that H2F, what they should have done is they should have grabbed Thor 3 from SOF. and
Okay.
what they do for their rehabilitative programs. Because you get injured in SOF, and you go through their program Thor 3. It'll literally bring guys and gals from being injured or hurting themselves and brings them back to the force, and that's it.
Yeah.
The H2F would do the same thing if we just fucking let it happen. If we just do it. I've seen leaders, and correct me if I'm wrong. Have you seen guys down on the line? I mean, I've seen guys that get hurt and their physical therapy appointments can't be made because of some shit detail. It's not taken. We need bodies. Blah blah blah.
All the time. It happens all the time. Unfortunately, like when it happens in an environment that I can control, I make sure it doesn't happen. But I have people in my inbox all the time saying so for instance, this spouse messaged me the other day, and she broke like one or both of her legs, and they have like a brand new newborn, right? And then her husband, who's he's a 10-level soldier, and they sent him to NTC like the very next day, and they asked her like, hey, can he at least go on like a later chalk, like to help solidify her? And obviously I don't know the full story, but if that were my soldier, if my soldier said, hey, Sergeant Vargas, my wife is in the hospital, she like broke her leg or pelvis or something, I'd be like, oh shoot, okay, let's hit up First Sergeant, let's see if we could just swap a couple seats, like buy you a few extra days, or just not take you, like if we don't really need you. And I know NTC, all the CTCs are always a numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it, but yeah, I just feel like, yeah, it's tough. It's such a tough line to skirt.
I just wish they would stick to it. A lot of the Army programs, contrary to popular belief, will actually fucking work if you let them do it, if you let them work it.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree.
And you fund them, and it's just like, oh my God. So I think that was the, let me see, let me double check. Let me open it back. Let me open up the blue book again. It's got this book again. Headgear, hair, anything talking about the hair, anything talking about in discussion. Somebody said there was a mad PNN, mad rumor that the freaking, that ponytails were gonna go away. And I'm like, nah, we've not heard anything like that. Did you hear anything like that too as well?
No, nothing was brought up like that.
Yeah.
Which I feel like there would be a storm if they're trying to get rid of ponytails.
It really exactly that. Well, shit. One leg tuck. Can we just talk about that? One leg tuck. It was just one leg tuck.
We did talk about that.
We did talk. You did talk about. Yeah, really. What was
they asked. They didn't like. Okay, so anytime anyone asked Sec Army, Sergeant Major of the Army, Chief of Staff, anytime they asked them a direct question, they gave a very political answer, which I get it. I understand. I'm not like bagging on them for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really hard to get any. So they gave us information, and then like we're like, cool, we have that information that is solidified. But then when we tried to do a little recon pull some information out of them, we just didn't get any. It was very limited, and they were just trying to protect what they're building. Jesus, sorry. So I totally get it. Gotta drink some more water. Not sponsored.
Drink water, yeah, of course. Drink water.
And like I totally get it, right? But yeah, it was just tough to like. It was kind of not annoying, but a little frustrating. Like, hey, what about this? What about that? And they're like, yeah, we understand the issue, blah blah blah. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. No, I hear you. We're gonna take a break right quick, and then we'll take a 5-10 minute break, and then we'll be right back to close it up. And freaking, of course, with my guest co-host, Viva La Vargas, Johnny Vargas.
That's me.
Influencer, of course, on IG and on TikTok. You need to get up more on Twitter, because that's where all the fighting is at. There's some fighting on Twitter that doesn't reach Instagram, and of course there's fighting on Instagram as well. But anyways, we'll take a break right quick. And that way we can, smoke if we got him, hit the head, hit the latrine, and shots. So stand by.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
Trekkies and TV addicts. Don't mean to diss, don't mean to bring static. All your Klingons in your grandma's house. Grab your backstreet friend and get loud. Blowing doors off inches. Grab you with the pinches. And no, I didn't retire. I'll snatch it off with the needle nose pliers.
With the U-boat you never seen before. Gliding in the glaze like no creepy, the fucking way. Like a racing with the bass, so not goofy like they're in a haste, so I'm a make your night with practice me running that you know. Alright.
We'll drive our ships to new land. Fight the home, sing and cry. Valhalla, I am coming.
Remain calm, no alarm, 'cause my farm ain't fast, so what's up with that? I got friends and family that I respect. When I think I'm too good, they put me in check. Don't believe when they say I'm no better than you, except when I rap, so I guess it ain't true like that, y'all, and you just don't stop. Guaranteed to make your body rock.
Check it out. What's it all about? Work it out. Let's turn this party out. Check it out. What's it all about? Work it out. Let's turn this party out.
Say, Doc, what's the condition? I'm a man that's on a mission. Son, you better listen. Stuck in your is an electrician. Like the scientist. When I'm applying this method of controlling my mind like eyes on a rat with two comply. Now, hey, nigga, but now what the deal? I didn't know you go for that mass appeal. So I'm calling Salucci. Some of my potato. I stole your mic, but you won't see it later. 'Cause I work magic like a magician. I add up the mathematician and the bank cashier. Engineer. I wear cotton and I don't wear your.
Always sleep with matching up. She say I'm an abracadabra. In the whip, I'm going to cruise past ya. Don't money, don't jump yourself. Put that back on the shelf. Blazing, yeah, I'm phasing. My crew's amazing. We're working on the record, y'all, so just stay patient. Check it out. What's it all about? Work it out. Let's turn this party out. Check it out. What's it all about? Work it out. Let's turn this party out.
Now I go by the name of the King and Rob. I don't wear a cup nor a job. I bring the that's beyond bizarre, like Miss Piggy. I am the one with the clientele. You say I'd rock, you rock so well. I got class like pink champagne. Let's see, ain't got the microphone, the mic goes stale.
Always sleep. Matching up. I want to know what needs the rest of the show. In the barracks where the madness breeds, a soldier's tale of wild misdeeds, from the chow hall to the PT grind. You won't believe the things you'll find. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private tensions far from the norm in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F, you can't deny. Army top of the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army double the force, the madness we know. A Humvee stuck in the mud so deep. A midnight rain, no time for sleep. Emerge straight like golden hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F, you can't deny. Army top of the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends lunch so deep. A midnight raid, no time for sleep. And we're treated like gold in hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeants rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F, you can't deny. Army W, the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army W, the force, the madness we know. In the ranks where the wildlings roam. Every soldier's got a tale of their own. From the absurd to the downright strange. Army W, the force, it never will change. So raise a glass to the tales untold. In the Army's world where the brave and bold live the moments that make us say Army W for force every single day.
What is this Facebook Live? I've never heard of this shit.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back. Yeah. Apologies.
Did you miss us? I missed us.
Hey, you guys, you look great.
Y'all are looking good, real good and nice and shiny tonight.
Nice. I know what I'm about to say. We are kind of, it's our innate ability to produce oil. That
True. It's tapatio.
Exactly. It's manteca, cabrón.
Yeah.
Oh man, so back with Viva La Vargas, Johnny Vargas, media influencer and mill influencer, recently just came back from AUSA, or about ready to take off from AUSA. He's still in DC.
Yeah, the AER team left me.
Yeah,
they left me. Army Emergency Relief. Thanks, God. No,
you're relieved. See ya. No, actually, the AER team's pretty good. They've been a big help with us. Anytime we wanted to put some stuff out and wanted to dispel the dispel the misinformation, disinformation, like people like to go. I just can't believe that people get so wrapped around about AER that look. It's almost like the VA. We're veterans get frustrated with the VA a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, I'm not going to say all of it, a lot of it is not the VA's fault.
Yeah, that's true. They can only do with what they have.
They can only do with what they have, and if you freaking apply for it, then that's when you get it. That's when you get. I mean, there's some cases where AER doesn't help me out. Well, did you apply? Well, no. Well,
I just kind of complained about it.
I just complained about it on social media. Tough shit.
Yeah.
Let me see. Well, I'm gonna play with your camera. You're coming in large. Are you cool with that? With that aspect ratio?
As long as the audience is good.
Yes, here we go. Okay, so going on with dispelling more of the so SMA made a pretty big splash wearing a uniform accoutrement that got everybody
little chest candy.
Yeah, well, you get a little chest candy, but also his shoes, his footwear.
Yeah. Everyone's
like, oh my God, look what he's wearing. Look at his foot. Look at his feet. And
are those loafers?
Exactly. Hey, AER's in the chats. Hey, what's up, AER? Okay, everyone, hey, whoop whoop, big supporter. Yay, there we go, bam, bam. I still have my socks.
Nice.
So, SMA made a big splash wearing some footwear that people were like, oh, clutch the pearls. You could hear Big Sarge having heart attacks across the country.
The new Kanye's.
You guys should look at AR 670-1 DA PAM 670-1. If you read it, you notice everyone's sending an email. Send an email. Send a freaking, oh my God, WTF, post now. How come you guys didn't post my shit? How come you guys need to post this? I'm thinking, guys, right there, shoes, mira,
shoes,
zapatos.
Zapatos.
I like zapatos with extra chives and sour cream. If you look at the bottom, and the way this is written out is got everybody a little tad confused. If you look at 20-27, and it says where it says shoes, as an option, commanders may authorize male soldiers to wear an ankle-high boot similar to Jodspurs, and of course, people are not gonna say, "Oh no, see, you can't wear Jodspurs." No, it says similar, dudes, guys.
Similar
to, or riding boot. Mm-hmm. If worn, it must be worn the same color as the authorized service shoe, plain without straps or buckles, or a non-contrast. Oh God, I can't say it. Otra vez in English. Non-contrasting.
Slowly, one more time.
Non-contrasting. Heel and sole. Sorry, my ESL instructors help me here. And the heel no higher than 2 inches, inconspicuously placed zipper is authorized.
Yeah, people just don't read.
Dudes, just. I mean, people were like, oh, how come this isn't posted on WTF Moments? How come this didn't need this, and this? So I figured we'd talk about it on the podcast. There's a lot of, I think it was like AUSA last year. When was it the AGSU didn't, I can't remember what, before it came out and it was being tested. It wasn't an approved uniform. It was still in test. So again, lay off.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't see it get posted on U.S. Army WTF Moments, is because
people were freaking out.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, you guys, we got the standard. You guys hate vets. You're a bootlicker. What was the other one? You guys post misinformation on one thing, but don't post real things on others. And I'm like, you're asking us to post misinformation. That's like,
look in the mirror, buddy.
Exactly that. Hey, look at my shoes. I can wear them. If you looked at your blue book.
Yeah.
See, and that's
full.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, full. Does a Marine Corps get those shoes full?
Well, see, that's the thing. You guys are giving the excuse for the blue book to be mandated to be kept on your person at all time.
Yeah.
Because of that ignorance. I mean, I don't want to get mad at people. Get mad at me, but again, he made a splash wearing the shoes. There you go. Now, I think he only wore.
I like them. Look pretty cool.
Yeah, I think actually they're. I like that brown, anyways. That's a. Now, I'm just gonna say this.
Yep.
What if? Because you know me, I'm a psyop guy. Hang on, let me grab my tinfoil. Hang on.
All right. Scanning for Mexicans.
Scanning for Mexicans saying bullshit. I've done this before. I have accidentally worn something that somebody thought was cool that I wore, and I didn't. I was like, I will admit it. I was waffling on some shit on the regs, and I wore it.
Yeah.
And somebody thought it was cool. Is that a new uniform item? And I'm like, yeah, sure, okay.
It's in testing.
Yeah, it's in testing. Exactly that. So do we want to throw some psyop out there? Do we want to throw some tinfoil? Did he actually mean to wear those shoes? And because you know how you're flying on an airplane or you're traveling or whatever, or you forget to pack, or you just, you know what I mean? Go ahead.
All the other times that I saw him, he was in the regular shoes.
Right.
So I think he was just wearing them just because he liked them or they were comfortable, or he wanted stuff like this to happen,
he wanted to see if NCOs, influencers, and other retired guys, soldier for life.
That watch this. I'm gonna put on these cool chanclas, and then the Mexicans on the Facebook are gonna talk about me.
Mira esta cabrones. We'll see if these guys really care.
Yeah.
So again, and you're right. There was a couple times where I saw him not wear those. I saw him wear in other images. I saw him wear those normal shoes. I guess you'd say the standard picks like that and standard other picks. So again, that's all we could say. It's not bootlicking. It's not covering up for the man.
Yeah.
When we post the APAM or AR-680-1 to highlight what he should not be wearing.
Just talking about standards and discipline.
Yeah. Who the freak?
Who the freak?
Like One Punch Dad.
Well, Josh Green.
Yeah, Josh. His on it.
Love that guy. So fun little side story about Josh. So I did a comedy show at Fort Sill with Mandatory Fun Day Austin and One Punch Dad, Josh Green, and Habitual Line Crosser was there, Ethan Long. And we did the show, and then that's the first time I ever met Josh.
Mm-hmm.
And he like went up to me and like patted my shoulder, and he goes, "Wow, you are a solid young man." I was like, "All right, cool." And then I was like, "Thank you, brother. I truly appreciate that." And then I was like, "You're shorter than I thought." He's like, "I know, everyone says that."
You're like, oh, and he's a Mondo geek too. So you did an Anakin Skywalker, General Grievous there. You're shorter than I expected. Jedi scum. But yeah, dude. It's not bootlicking. Look, if you want the NCOs to highlight something and correct and post and talk about it, then and we didn't post it. That's why we didn't post it. It wasn't it wasn't out of regs. It was the council, the sorts, the senior NCOs and warrants and post KD commanders and the WTF admin team said, nah, not worth posting. It wasn't worth posting. I posted on Twitter like, yeah, the force is noticing that he was wearing those shoes, and immediately people were like, oh, fucking blah. I'm like, whoa, easy. Yeah, exactly. Let me fucking just put the rag underneath it, so that way you guys could see. But there were other images of the SMA wearing, like you said, wearing the normal shoes. So it's not like, guys.
But even then, when you give that photo of the 670-1, like that, you could highlight it and people will still won't read it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
some of them.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, sort of, kind of, yeah. Well, the ones that don't want to read it, the ones that don't want to. Hey, look, there's a difference between being a hater, and you could be a hater. Just if you're wrong, you're fucking wrong. You can't.
True.
You can't help that. So aside from that, did the closing ceremony? Somebody said that the closing ceremony was like one of the most badass freaking Army videos that anybody's ever seen for AUSA. Did you see that?
So I caught a glimpse of it, but also there was like a kind of like a gala at the end that not everyone got to go to, but yeah, there was it was honestly, it was bigger and crazier than I thought it was going to be. Everything, the whole thing.
Did they have any? How do I say this?
Secret stuff?
Yeah, I mean, do they have any anything that you didn't that you saw that the public doesn't know?
Yeah. Okay. So one thing is GM is developing a hybrid like Humvee because they want it to be quieter. I don't know how that's going to work because if you're in the deserts of Syria or something, I don't know how many Tesla stations are going to be around you to charge that thing up. But then also obviously the other big thing was the $240 a month that SEC Army talked about.
Yes.
And they finally dispelled hey, the military.com thing, it got leaked. It shouldn't have been leaked, but now it's $240 across the board, just like Jump Pay is. It's one thing. You have to be in a deployed environment for 60 days and then you're good to go.
Gotcha.
So that was a big thing.
So it wasn't true then? I mean, it was premature.
Yeah, it was premature. They leaked a memo that was internal, and because it was supposed to be varied by rank. They were like, okay, privates are going to get 240, but then if you're like a senior NCO, So finally, SEC Army said, okay, to dispel everything, and also they're going to retroactively activate it for 1 October. So if you're in like Poland right now or Korea or something. And if you've been in theater for 60 days, then you're going to get that pay starting, a couple weeks ago. So yeah, it just got leaked, and it was a bad leak, and people got freaked out. And then they talked a lot about obviously long range precision fires, just because that's such a huge thing right now. Just kind of pumping money into that. So
what about drones? You were talking about the drone stuff.
Oh my gosh, there were so many drones there. I swear, like half the floor, the showroom floor, was drones, and from guys like this big to this big to like bigger. You can't even fit them in this room.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
I did some drone stuff and things before I retired, and some of the stuff we were working on were the semi-autonomous ground drones, the ones with guns and rocket launchers on them and stuff like that. And so we just got.
And they had some cool, like not only there was a lot of directed energy kind of displays set up, like some really cool ones. And I was like, oh my gosh,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that technology is advancing so quickly. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, we're gonna go next year.
We'll see there.
We're gonna crash it.
Orderly.
We're gonna crash it. Everyone's like, okay, we should just go and just show up. Okay, so it's either between the MIC and the military influencer conference, or it's gonna be AUSA.
Why not both?
It's like, it's just like it's most of it's
I'll be at both.
Most of it's gonna be it's a schedule thing too.
That's true.
And for me, it'd be like almost back to back. I would have to. I mean, it'd be
No, it was pretty much back to back because I was at the MIC, and that was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so
I haven't stopped traveling.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so for me, it would have to be a balance. But it's been since 2019 since we've been to AUSA, so I think
it's been a while.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
STK Brones estaba diciendo AUSA.
Oh, jeez. We got to go back to that.
Here he comes again. Here he goes. Did it anything at all? Did it seem like I don't want to say it seemed like they were talking about numbers and recruiting and retention. What did you get from that?
So for the last 3 years, the Army hasn't hit its recruiting goals, and they've like lowered the number. They've changed some stuff. They implemented new MOSs and stuff like that. And for the first time in 3 years, barely, we hit the recruiting goal of 55,000 or 50,000. 55,000? Where's my note? 55,000. And now their goal for next year is 61,000, which is quite a bit of a jump.
Yeah,
and
I was about to say
this was their reasoning. They said, okay, we have like the Army prep program. It's like a 90-day like boot camp, almost like just to make sure, like make doubly sure that these young men and women aren't going to fail out of basic training in OSUT. And they already have like 5,000 or 6,000 committed for fiscal year 2025. So that's when Sec Army and SMA said, you know what, let's just up the goal to 61,000. So honestly, I hope we hit it. Like I don't want the Army to fail, but it's quite the number, 61,000 people.
Yeah, that's it's that beginning soldier program where they call it. What's the name of the program? I know what you're talking
about. Well, it used to be Future Soldier
program, yeah.
And now they call it's like the prep, like the Army prep or something. I can't remember.
I actually think that's pretty good.
But yeah, a Sec Army really hit on recruiting, retention, training, equipping, and also decreasing the amount of PCSs that you would do among your across your career.
Mm-hmm.
That was also a big hot topic because it's stressful, it's expensive, and stuff like that. And I know why we PCS so often, but they did surveys, and the surveys were saying like, look, we're tired. I'm tired of moving my family every 2, 3, 4 years or whatever.
Yeah, man. So it also kind of brings it was a discussion that we had back in the day. Well, not really back in the day, but there was a discussion before, like, do we draw the line at homesteading, or do we draw the line at like some PCSs? Like, do you have soldiers that want to stay at an installation as much as everyone, like, for instance, I did not have a problem with Fort Hood, now called Fort Cab. I didn't have a problem. I mean, well, partly because I had some family that was around in Texas as well, but I had a good tour. I didn't have, so if I wanted to extend or stay there, I shouldn't be told, hey, you're coming down on levy for this assignment.
Right.
the same thing with individuals overseas. I know that was a big thing when I was stationed in Germany, that there were soldiers that were there forever. And unless they got like a bonus for a foreign service tour extension or whatever. And there were some guys that homesteaded in Germany for like, it was just like Korea, for almost like 15, almost 20 years. Now
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, so what do you draw the line at there? You know what I mean? Do you like say for instance, okay, did 8 years at Fort Cav. Okay. So now I'm done at Fort Cav. But I want to go to Germany now. So do I go and do I get assigned to Germany or do I put myself on levy for Germany? And then there's the guy that the slot that I'm trying to get is pissed off because he might PCS back to the States.
Yeah.
After living that Germany life.
I think that's where the talent managers have to come in and really assess everyone's career progression and where you sit currently. And as long as they have a good grip on that, and I can appreciate the work that HRC has done in the past 5 or 6 years of really transitioning, like, okay, these talent managers, like they're not just your career managers, they're not your branch managers, like they really are going to really look to where to put you, because I feel like we really need to invest in the people that we already have. And I'm not saying like I don't want to recruit, like don't want to spend a lot of time recruiting, but we have to invest in the people that we already have, and we know them and we trust them, and we see their work, we see their NCOERs and OERs and stuff like that. So I can appreciate the kind of shift that HRC has taken the past few years.
You talk about the recruiting effort, influencers. The Army is now.
That was a topic too.
Yeah. I was about to say this is the last topic before we cut out. The influencer side. What was their take? Because there was a program. I'm just give you a preface this. There was a program back in the day to do a DoD influencer stuff. The Navy, the Air Force, the Army. And the Army had myself, a combat veteran, Yusha Thomas, Muse. And they had us. We were going to do an influence. And this is before the lockdowns and COVID. The Navy had their stuff. The Air Force had their stuff, and we had our stuff. And we were going to be the openers. We were going to open the Army Museum, the Museum of the United States Army. We were going to be there to bam, 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 to talk about it. And then after the lockdowns, it just all went to shit, and nothing's been brought up ever since. So when I heard about it, I know you were there. So what were they saying about it?
So there was a closed door meeting with Sec Army, with 8 people, about roughly 8 people that are in the social media realm of how to effectively use social media, the drawdowns of social media, like the threats that might be apparent. But honestly, right now, and this is just my opinion, the DoD keeps kind of pushing this like social media bad, like military content creator bad, stuff. Yeah,
you're an insider threat because you talk about the military. Yeah,
exactly. But the thing is, so I do like consulting for some companies sometimes for social media, and I tell them this the whole time. And if Amanda, if you're still here, I'm sorry you have to hear this for the 1,000th time.
ARs in the chats, guys.
Yeah,
Amanda's cool.
Yeah, social media is marketing, and marketing is social media. And the Army, instead of giving $11 million to The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, they really should have invested more time into what we have here. Like I can't, and I'm not trying to blow myself up or the people that I work with, but I can't tell you how many comments, how many messages I get from people saying, I joined because of you, I re-enlisted because of you, or I decided to take another career path because of you, because I'm transparent. I'm honest. Yeah. I'm transparent in my content. Yeah. And I think that's all people want.
Yeah. And that's another thing is like, we get that as well. We get both sides of the coin. We get the, hey, appreciate you bringing this up. Appreciate doing that. Now I'm going to do this. Or we get, hell no, I'm not going to join the Army now or whatever. Yeah. And I think that's what the fear is. It's like, you can't bring that raw. You can't bring that raw material without talking about the raw that's inside the service. Like you got to open the door up and talk about that. The rock. Now here's something that a lot of people don't know, that everyone's like still pissed off about it. We did a. We're still doing it. It's done. It's just got to get scheduled out. When that program went out, we offered, and I myself said, hey, why don't you grab WTF Moments? Why don't you grab, I said, Viva La Vargas, Mandatory Fun Day, Josh, let's what we did for the DOD back in the day that was planned. Let's bring it back and talk about where we all come from. And so that way you could see what brought us to where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And we got left on red. And
that's the thing. I think the DOD will always be several steps behind where they should be.
Well, and then what happened, somebody sent me a message, and this is, of course, and we don't reveal our inbox, but somebody sent a message saying, they're speaking in the fourth person in this aspect, that there's no way that you could show that people are re-enlisting, people are joining. There's no way you could do it. I'm like, oh, okay. So I said, from here on out, we will post soldiers re-enlisting.
Yeah.
And
we saw it. Trust me.
And people got, what is this now? U.S. Army re-enlistment page? And what are you doing? And I said before, way back when we first started this, that, hey, look, this is to prove a point to the haters out there that if you don't use your influencers, we're not the king shit influencers, by the way. There are other great influencers, but we're out there too. So if you want to get us involved and you want us to bring us into this big circle to help you out, I'm going to tell you guys right now that the people are trying to, there's no way, no, we don't need to do that. Okay, fine. Well, from now until we decide, we're going to post soldiers re-enlisting. And we called it the More of This campaign.
Yeah. And I love it.
And man, hey, I'll be honest with you. People are oh, fuck this. I'm unfollowing this. Okay, fine. Unfollow.
I saw a lot of negative. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the negativity. They're like, look, you guys can't sit there and say, this is why no one's re-enlisting. This is why no one's re-enlisting. And then every night every morning, I should say, at I think 4 a.m. or something like that, Eastern Standard Time, the first thing you see is a soldier re-enlisting.
Yeah.
Then you're like, more of this. Now, the More of This campaign has stopped taking images because we make mistakes.
Oh.
when a page, when a followership of almost 5 million gets over 1 million images, we were flooded. We were so flooded with imagery that the other content that we were posting, we couldn't get to it.
Jeez.
We couldn't, dude,
just overloaded.
Yeah, we were just overloaded. So we were like, okay, we got to get to the stopping point. So all the More of This re-enlistments that you see right now are already scheduled out. So that we've stopped taking them. So, but still,
I'll tell you what, you better not stand on my desk and re-enlist.
Exactly.
I won't have it.
You can stand on mine. Standing is bad soldier. But again, I look. That's one of the things too. I asked if there was a Soldier for Life portion of it.
Yeah.
We have retired. We had Sergeant Major of the Army Grinston. You had Sergeant Major of the Army Daly. You had John Wayne Trossel. You had, Sergeant Major of the Army Tilley. You had all these Soldier for Life guys that I talked
Jack
to.
Tilley.
And we go back and forth, and that Soldier for Life stuff, the Soldier for Life, the retired guys and the veterans and the soldiers that are out want to help, want to be part of it. But I just feel like we get the Heisman. Just like with the Army left us on red with the rock stuff, and there's no way you can show metrics from that. All right, cool. I don't know. It's a friction point. That's my only friction point about that.
Yeah, it's disheartening, honestly.
Because I want you to know, like, oh, you're from fucking California there, Vargas. Let's talk about where you came from, what brought you here, and show you blah blah blah. Don't show us some general who came from middle America that the whole thing about dealing with adversity in the Army and how soldiers come up. If you want to talk about the Army being a cross section of America, show where soldiers have come from humble beginnings, or show the middle class, or show, again, soldiers don't want to see the legacy stuff. They don't want to know my dad's dad, like Forrest Gump, and he died, and he
They really don't care.
No, they don't care.
They don't care.
Yeah, they want to see. They want to see Johnny fucking out of the muffler shop, going from fucking California to to where he's at right now. I'm just saying Johnny isn't.
From Firestone to Fireguard.
From Meineke to motor stables.
Yeah.
But
From
somebody
Seas
said
Candy to CQ, fool.
From Seas Candy. That's only see. That's another thing too. Some of the colloquialisms that you've been saying are so West. I remember. I mean, I recognize. What does it mean by bag on? What is bag on?
Do you remember Magic Muffler? Did you ever know about that?
Yeah. Magic Muffler.
Yeah, in the Valley.
Or I made a comment to somebody that everyone it went, and I said you can get better chow at Rusty's Pizza, and everyone was like, huh?
Yeah.
And
go to Shakey's.
Go to Shakey's. Yeah. Please no woke videos though. See, that's the thing. What's woke?
Yeah, I guess what does that mean to you?
What does that mean to you? Like if, for instance, it's like we talk like a homeless kid, like Pip said in the chat. I want to hear from that homeless kid who was on the way out, who was in the alley, who decided to enlist and come up to whatever, or a kid from Africa or Ukraine or Mexico or doing the right thing, and then becomes joins the service and then you don't even know he's. Because there's a lot of soldiers out there, you don't even know their background.
It's true.
And their talent's incredible. So I'm sorry I didn't mean to vent, bro, because that's one of my friction points is that that
you're good.
That's one of those things that show us what happened in the video, man. Don't oh my God, is he going? Is this a La Raza? Is this
talking about Studio City again? Nobody cares that you're from Tarzana. Okay.
Exactly. Skid Row's a band where you're from.
Yeah. Is there anything else crazy in the comments?
Just people are just a lot of people. And again, guys, the reason why Viva La Vargas can't see the comments is because he's going off of his phone, which is very impressive rig, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Doing it by your phone. So
I traveled with a lot of equipment.
Yeah. Please no woke videos. Pip says, I want to hear from the homeless kid who's on the way out an alley. Yep, I know one of those. And then, okay. So the comment was no woke videos like the cartoon army vids focusing on two moms.
Yeah, I did a video on that. It upset, not my video, but that upset a lot of people. And I think, so the Army's intention was to just tell alternate stories, but also at the same time, the public felt that they alienated a large group of people. So I get both sides. And honestly, I feel like that ad kind of hurt the Army a little bit, at least temporarily.
Well, it hurt the soldier too.
Yeah, no, it did, because it was a real story.
It was a real story.
And it's a real human being.
And it's a real soldier.
Yeah.
Emma Malone Lord. And I'm going to tell you what, my biggest thing is that, agreed. It focused on one. And I don't think the Army meant to it be focused on one. I just think the public outcry focused on one. What made me mad was that it focused, it didn't focus on the rest of the kids.
Yeah.
It did not. Laura Vargas says, Johnny, you just proved you really know SFW. Oh, San Fernando Valley.
that's my mom.
That's your mom? Oh, hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Órale, Mom.
Hi.
Bienvenidos en este podcast. You just say Spanish and podcast. Podcast. Mira, otra vez con 100 puntos, los Angeles Dodgers.
The game started like right when we started podcasting.
Yeah, I know. So
the calling.
The calling is what it was called. Now, my thing on the whole calling, don't get me wrong, Emma Malone Lord, she's a good NCO. I think she's getting out or got out or something. I don't know if she's staying in or she's going to stay in. Air defense soldier. Hey, everyone has an individual story, but my biggest thing is that the big outcry to it removed the focus of the other soldiers that were there. You saw Latinos, Asian, Black, and you didn't see what their story went through. You didn't see their story and all the outcry of it, because at the same time, people were simping on this Russian video that came out at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you guys really serious? And then we even kind of predicted when right before Russia invaded Ukraine, we were like, dude, if Ivan, come on, Ivan, they blow. I mean, there's no way. And the next thing you know, you see them all over videos getting hit by drones and stuff. But again, that right there, it pissed me off because everyone just like focused on that one story, but like you said, it only focused on Sergeant Malone Lord, and it did not go to the rest of the kids, the rest of the soldiers that were there. That's where I think the public should have taken a better look, and the fucking But yeah, I mean, so you got a bunch of shit. I got a bunch of shit about it too, man. I got a bunch of fucking drama from it.
Oh yeah,
you're fucking woke. Yeah. You're right. You freaking stop, dude.
You can't please everybody.
No, but I think the commercial of it, the commercialing should have been more to, because now they've had different programs. They have March to Service, What's Your Warrior, and all that. But I really think they could have had us. They could have had us, as in the mill vet community.
Yeah, I'd wish they would use the tools that they already have in their toolbox.
Right.
Is how I see it. Use us. Especially if we're willing.
Yeah.
Like The Rock charged 11 million. I'll charge 10. I'll save you $1 million.
Charge shit. I'll take you, pay off all my debts, and that's it.
Just give me a couple tornadoes. Some cheese pepperoni.
Pay out. Take me out. Pay off my car loans, and pay off my house debt, and then buy me a new broadcast rig, and
give me some Coors Banquets, man.
Yeah, maybe a couple drones I can play with, and then that's it.
Yeah,
we'll be good to go.
Yeah. Maybe a 4-day. Too.
Yeah. Maybe a 4-day. Exactly that.
Something.
Yeah. Wow. I think we covered it. I think that was the.
I think we saved the world.
Yeah, I think we saved the Army, the world, and the DoD.
Honestly,
with a new PT uniform.
You're welcome for our cervix.
Yes. You say that in front of your mom.
Yeah, sorry. I don't even know. I can't see anything, so I don't even know if my wife is still watching.
It's okay. My mom's in the chats too. She doesn't really. She doesn't make announcements, stuff like that, because she's pretty low key on social media. So my mom will be in there, and she's like, "Did you just really say that?" And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, mom." Oops, sorry.
Oopsie.
Sorry.
My bad.
Con permiso, madre.
Lo siento.
Yeah. So what's next for you, man? I mean, you just coming back from AUSA, and now you're doing what? What you got?
Yeah, so I'm doing a couple things. I'm working closely with AER, the Army's official only nonprofit for the Army Emergency Relief. I'm also little fact about me. I'm also a mortgage loan officer on the side for VA loans.
Whoa! There
you
go.
So I pre-approve people for loans all the time.
Oh, okay.
And I may or may not be facing a medical retirement in the near future, because like I said, I've had a couple back surgeries. I have a disc replacement on my neck coming up. And honestly, I'm just trying to grow this social media platform as much as I can. And maybe I'll be, I don't know, opening doors at the the W.T.F moments, HQ building or something. I'll like hire me for the doorman or something. I'll be the gopher. I'll get you your tornadoes.
Come on, man. We're Mexicans. I'm the one that does the floor. You're gonna have to do the wax.
Yeah.
I mop, you wax.
I'll get the bucket. I'll hold the bucket.
Exactly. No, I mean, here's the thing: is that one of the things that I noticed from AUSA that kind of made me look is that when they talked about the transitioning services and the CSP. And I heard, and I was hearing this, off of a speaker, because sometimes I play stuff in the background. Mm-hmm. We can't put everybody on CSP, otherwise we'd have nobody to do anything.
Right. And I have seen people get turned away.
And I kind of think then maybe you shouldn't have that program, so that way there's not the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah.
Is that too? I mean, is that? What's your?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, not everyone's going to ETS and retire all at the same time. And I've seen more people get approved for their CSP than have been denied. But I've seen some good soldiers get denied CSP that I felt personally they did their job, they did their time, so they deserve for us to do everything and anything within our power to try to help them transition in the best way possible. So,
right.
I like the program. I think there's a ton of room for improvement. But I feel like the military as a whole kind of over promises and under delivers on the whole transition period. And I would love to see that change, because also, the 22 a day, that also contributes to it. I have a good friend that just, a few months ago took his own life because he was in that transition period and didn't have anywhere to go.
I'm so sorry to hear about that, man.
Yeah. So at that moment, his best decision in his eyes was to just be done with it. So if we could improve that and maybe give people more options, I think we could save some lives, but also save some careers as well.
No, I agree, because it also, to me, the way I see it, a lot of people don't realize that whole soldier human factor of it. That if you don't fix that, like a soldier getting out or retiring, even like a guy with me that retired with almost close to 30 years, it's a big shift. It's a big shift in life. You're about ready to start. You retire when you're young, and it's like starting over again. It's like I don't know how to dress. I had to open up my fucking Foot Locker, and there's still my Pendleton, my Pendleton, and my fucking Hush Puppies and my Dickies. You know what I mean? Yep. You fucking
with the rubber band to keep the Dickies straight. Sure.
I'm not that short. Anyways, they were pleated homes.
Oh, my bad.
But every soldier, doesn't matter if you have close to 30 or you have just 6 years completed. It's a big transition from going from balls to the wall, hauling ass, deploying, training, rotations, going to the field, doing rotations, and then all of a sudden it stops.
Yeah.
And everyone's rolling without. It's almost like the train's going, the Army, all right, next stop, get the fuck out. And then the Army throws you out, and then you're like, okay, what do I do?
See you later, nerd.
Yeah, and then and like you said, it contributes to a lot of that anxiety, specifically if someone had behavioral health issues that were not addressed or were probably addressed, but then it wasn't brought up.
Yeah,
and it just to me, it's just like disheartening, man. That's why I always try to work with vets.
It's tough
being out. Say, hey, dudes, don't get mad at the VA. Let's walk this through.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's also why most nonprofits are like centered around veterans or ran by veterans, because we just want to help each other, honestly, because we don't get a whole lot of help from the outside. So I feel like that's something interesting.
We could be our own worst enemy, though, and you've seen that.
Oh yeah,
fellow veterans will say, "Yo, you clout chasing," or whatever. We get a lot too.
Or because you're that MOS, now I don't like you. I'm like,
I didn't.
All right, cool.
Wait a minute.
What is this, kindergarten?
Yeah, exactly. Now you're Cav. Oh, I didn't know you were Cav. Yeah. Oh, dude, tell me about it, man. I'll be honest with you.
It's annoying.
Seeing guys that get told, hey, whatever, you're retired as a whatever. You're like, dude, come on, man. At that point, you're a veteran. There's no.
Yeah.
People, I don't know how to talk to you. Call me Ken. That's I would prefer that, because being used, and I say that used by my rank for so long.
It puts you in a box.
Yeah, it does. You're kind of like
Tony said that the other day. Tony Grinston, he's the CEO of AR, and he was like, I don't let anyone call me Sergeant Major anymore. Like, I try not to. Of course they're going to say what they do, but he was like, that puts me in a box. Like, that still makes me the Sergeant Major.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just Tony. Like, I'm a guy. Like, just let me be a guy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, shit, man. We got to do housekeeping. So, you know what that is? Housekeeping is where we talk, we're all over. Basically, it's like a guest / show roll up. And basically what we do is, as a matter of fact, so you won't be able to see it. I mean, you'll be able to see it, but the audience will be able to see you. This is Sergeant's time. So there we go. You see me right there. Yeah. Thursday, of course, Sergeant's Time with myself and Spanky. And of course, I appreciate Johnny Vargas for being our guest co-host for tonight. Your mic's still on, bro, so you can talk if you want
to. How are you doing?
Nah, you guys.
I'm still watching.
I'm still watching. The crew currently right now for FTX and co-ops, I think they're on the road for the New York Comic-Con. And nice. Hate. Those dudes, CQ on that. I should have picked up that show. Anyways, CQ hits the Comic-Con / con circuit, and basically it is a fun time where he goes out and listens and interviews and gets great content from movie stars, celebrity voice actors and animators, directors, producers. If you don't watch Pop Culture Warrior, you should jump on in there. So I don't know I think he's taking King with him too. So I think the whole crew. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the sports bar may be on pause. I don't know, because I told those guys, hey, go have fun, and then if you get back type stuff. Then of course Monday edition with myself and Massey. Tuesday Pop Culture Warrior. I'm sure Michael Cataskillo, also known as CQ, with his angry crew of Mad Mike and Angry Elf. And then the Smoke Pit with the Sorents, TZ, and Radar, the big Marine / paratrooper / rah with TZ, and then myself and Spanky for Sergeant's time. But again, Mijo, thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. This was fun.
It was fun. Thank you for having me. Honestly,
I mean, I like the dynamic. It's very.
It was real fun. I put a light up back here for y'all.
It's the blue light, but sometimes it goes red.
Yeah, it's the purple. Hold on. What color you like? You like red? There you go.
Oh, very Sith Lord like.
Oh, y'all like blue? There you go.
Hey, Johnny Vargas, also known as Viva La Vargas. Hey man, thank you for your AUSA update, bro. That was pretty informative.
I'm glad to be the man on the ground.
Yeah, that was good shit. So, guys, we'll be obviously broadcasting on all 5 platforms: 2 Facebook pages at U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, 2 YouTube pages at U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, and of course Twitter, the X app.
MySpace.
Dude, that's a curious question. Can MySpace?
Might as well try.
MySpace does live. I'm at the figure.
I bet they do.
You know what?
Let's bring it back.
Yeah, we should bring it back. MySpace doing live. Could you imagine? People would freak out. We were back on MySpace. Oh man. Oh my God. MySpace. All the boomers. I bet you would get more of the 80s, like the Stranger Things audience.
Probably. Let's just open up an AOL chat.
Yeah.
As well.
Exactly.
On Netscape internet.
What happens when you call the show? Well, I'm glad you said that. You guys notice there's 415-889-8367. When we request call-ins and stuff like that, I open up the phone lines. We all open up the phone lines, and you call in. There you go. And we would not reveal your location. We will not reveal who you are. We'll just say, hey, caller, blah, 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 and we'll keep calling.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. Your identity's secure, just like our inbox. Anyways, so once again, guys, thanks for tuning in. And you got anything to say, man? You got any parting statements?
Yeah, honestly, thank you guys for what you do at WTF Nation. You guys are helping the military be transparent, and I really appreciate that. We need more of that. And if you like what I do, I'm Viva La Vargas on all the platforms. I'm just a silly goose, honestly. I like talking about the news, military benefits, and then I like being funny occasionally. So I really appreciate your time, and thank you for having me. I can't wait to do it again.
Yep. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close it out, and then me and Johnny will be shooting the shit real quick while you guys listen to music.
We're going to hug and stuff.
We're going to get some hey, Miguel, ¿qué está haciendo? Hey, what are you touching me?
Fool.
Hey, fool. You all have a good night. Shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Sometimes when I look at I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I think it's W.T.F. Army or something.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Reigns. Officers orders driving us insane. ATF 0 time 30, no time to complain. Push ups in the mud, feel the muscle strain. Army life is a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Hilltops in the desert, sandstorms in our eyes. Memories for breakfast, no room for lies. Rocket marches through the night under starless skies. Brothers and sisters we rise. Army life is a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Drill sergeant's fury echoing in the air. Discipline and duty we all must bear. Battle bodies by our side in the fight we share. In the face of danger we dare. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Flames, homes and firefights, adrenaline's rush. Silent nights, broken by the enemy's hush. Medics on the move in the heat of the crush. In the heart of battle we trust. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find out our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. Memories in our mind. Brothers lost but never left behind. Army WTF moments in the stories we find. In the Army's embrace, we're forever entwined. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Through the smoke and the flames we rise again. In the heart of the storm we find our sin. Battle buddies by our side, our men. In the Army's legacy we transcend.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.